Kristen Redmond, and today we're going to go over the planetary aspects that are going to be affecting us this week, January 10th through the 17th. And where we're going to start this week off is we really don't have a lot of major planets that are transiting into any signs or into any, new houses or cusps or anything. So there's nothing along those lines that we're going to be covering today. We're kind of just rehash what's going on. Pre-existing wise, I guess you could say. And a lot of it has to do with our sun, that Capricorn Sun, where that's transiting and what planets it's connecting with this week and what kind of energy that's giving us. Our sun right now is in that sign of Capricorn. And if you haven't watched my other videos, I'll kind of recap what that means. Our sun kind of represents like the center of our universe. So what's the center of your universe? Yourself, okay? Your outward self, how you appear to the world, what your mission is in this life. That's what your sun really represents. Now, right now is the universal collective. The sun is in the sign of Capricorn, and Capricorn is a sign that is all about hard work and determination through our own efforts. And right now, that sun this week on the, let's see here, I have it written down, on the 14th, I'm sorry, yeah, on 14th, sorry, it's on Thursday. What's going to happen is the sun, this is just for one day, but the effects of it are pretty strong. It's going to go trine, which is it's a good connection that it makes with the planet of Jupiter. And if you remember last week, we talked about Jupiter, that planet that represents our luck and our expansion into the world and our expansive view. It has gone into retrograde. That happened last week. And when that planet goes into retrograde, it kind of puts it back on us that as we are trying to attain the goals that we want and to achieve right now, because that planet of luck isn't necessarily on our side, it's subdued and it's held retrograde in the sign of Virgo right now, another earth sign too on top of that. It grounds it and it makes it so our hard work and our determination is what achieves our goals, not just the sheer luck, okay? So our sun, that Capricorn sun that's all about that hard work, is going to be working in harmony with Jupiter on Thursday, okay? It's going to make that good connection. And since we have that Jupiter retrograde, we have Mercury retrograde that we talked about last week too. And remember, Mercury retrograde isn't really good necessarily for communicating, for starting new things, signing contracts, buying a new vehicle, buying a new house, any of those kinds of things where you have to sign your name on the dotted line. What Mercury retrograde is good for is for replanning, reorganizing, restructuring. So right now, especially if we can get those thought process going this week towards Thursday for what it is we want for the year, how we want to achieve it, not necessarily start putting that plan into action. You want to wait until after the retrograde for that. But it's a really good time for planning, getting those thoughts and that process figured out. And then after the retrograde, all the energy will kind of be right to help send you off on your way, because it's still going to, those planets of Mercury and Jupiter are still going to be in Earth side, and so you're still going to have that good grounded start, a practical start to those goals and getting them achieved. So that's a good thing. Another thing that's going to be happening with this kind of situation is when that sun goes conjunct with Mercury. This is going to happen this week also on the 14th. It's going to go conjunct with the sun, and that means it's going to be right on top. It's going to be right aligned with the sun. And remember, Mercury is in retrograde, so its capabilities are kind of slowed down right now. It's going to, instead of verbalizing our issues with one another and communicating those things, the sun is going to shine a light on those issues. A lot of past issues, okay, because with Mercury, that planet of communication, thought, right in front of the sun, okay, the sun is shining a light on those past retrograde, past issues, okay. We also have Venus that's still conjunct with Saturn from last week, teaching us lessons about our life and our love A lot about love, though, because that's what Venus represents, is love and money. We're learning a lot of lessons from that. So this week, when you combine all of those energies, okay, together, we're going to be focusing on a lot of past issues that we've created for ourselves in regards to our love, our money, okay? We're looking at the debt that we've accrued um, from our life in the past couple of years. We're looking at how our love life has changed, how we react in our relationships, how we communicate, especially in our relationships, focusing on that this week. Those kinds of things are just all of a sudden going to come to light on Thursday, and they're really going to help in that planning for the rest of the year. Okay, so that's a wonderful energy to have around us. Okay. Another thing that I noticed when I was looking at this information for the week is that also the sign of Capricorn represents our structure. It takes a lot of that Saturn energy on because Saturn is the ruling planet for that. So Saturn represents structure, boundaries, order, discipline, things along those lines. Okay, and when the sun is shining directly on that for that day, this may bring up some past issues with the structure that we all have around us, the government, okay? So there may be some sort of past issue that comes to light this week, Thursday, Friday, something along those lines, something that needs to be brought to the attention of the public and will need to be rectified. This could be some sort of um, social reputation, someone's reputation that's going to be tarnished because of that, um, somebody's career, something along those lines. There's going to be a lot of that, and that also can spill into us too. Okay, keep an eye out for that, that there may be some things that you've done in the past that you're not necessarily proud of. That sun's going to shine a light on that, bring that to the surface perhaps this week, and get you to realize obviously what's gone wrong there, but also um, the where your social standing is, because that's what also the Capricorn energy represents too. Okay, so we've got that energy around as well. Another thing too is that Capricorn rules in the body, the knees, the skin, the bones, and the teeth. Okay, so you may have some past issues that kind of get rehashed again when we've got Jupiter connecting with the Sun and Mercury on Thursday. So keep an eye out for all of those types of things. Old problems want attention, okay, this week, and in one way or another, whether it's psychological or physiological, we're going to see that, or just in the structure around us with the government, structure in your families, something like that. Some sort of past issues are going to be coming to light. So with that, that's about it astrologically for the week. I'm going to go ahead and do a reading for us now to kind of pull it all together, see what the angels want us to keep in mind for the week with that energy of trying to take from the past to move ahead in the future. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is draw a stone to see what energy is around us, with us, being guided with us. I thought I was there, but it's not. Hold on. Okay. The stone right here is, let me move this out of the way. That way you can actually see me shuffling. The peach calcite is a wonderful stone. Calcite helps us with our memory, okay? I think in terms, when I see calcite, I think of a friend of mine whose grandma is going through Alzheimer's right now, and where she lives is around a lot of calcite. It's like a calcite quarry, I guess you could say, and it's a wonderful place for her to be because it helps you kind of keep your past memories alive with your present memories. Okay, so that's just the cool thing that goes with this, the peach calcite in general. For this week, which is a wonderful thing. It also helps with kidney issues and some of those issues we were just talking about, joint issues, skin issues, things along those lines. It helps with that too. But I associate this with the archangel Azrael. Okay, Azrael is the angel that helps us transform through loss. Okay, transform from the past. So we know that Archangel Azrael is around us right now, helping us to move on from whatever that past hurt is. I guess we're going to find out in a minute what Azrael has to say. Okay, so let's find out. I'm going to shuffle 7 times because I saw that this morning when I was doing my Kundalini yoga. I saw that in my mind's eye, so we're going to shuffle that 7 times. Whoa, hello. Calcite, another side note for calcite, there's all sorts of colors for calcites, and they're such an extremely beneficial stone. They come in every color, and they're good for balancing all the chakras too, okay? And they're actually very cost effective too, so you can get a whole bunch of them for not a lot of money. So, okay, Azrael, what is it you want to tell us this week? Okay, we actually have Archangel Gabriel here. Okay, Gabriel's the messenger angel, the one that brings us messages. So I'm going to pull another card next to it to see what that message is. Okay, it's the Six of Air. It means that things are looking up. We're at the end of a difficult situation. 6, what it represents is 5 is the most difficult card in any of these suits. Okay, and when it represents the 6, okay, when we move to 6, it represents we're moving past that challenge of the 5, of the number 5. 5 relates to change and major things. I see Azrael coming in with this, okay, representing that loss of through death. A lot of it is loss through death, okay. Azrael is that angel that comes to get us in the end, okay, and takes us to that other side. But they also help us, she also helps us here to move past grief and past loss. So I see that as being a challenge, okay? For a lot of people, it may not just be a death, a literal death. It could be the loss of a job. It could be the loss of a relationship through divorce. I'm looking at severing, okay? But we're getting past that because this is a 6. We're not focusing on that loss. We're focusing on moving past that loss, okay? That's what the 6 represents. It could also represent somebody going on a trip, too, out there. If someone's literally going on a trip right now, but I don't really feel that. I feel like it's more of literally moving past that loss. I just heard a little bit of a thump back there too, so I feel like that's an extra affirmation of that, moving on from the loss. And Gabriel too, let me just tell you what this, it's interesting because Gabriel's card is a 3 and this is 6 of air, okay? 3 and 6, okay, they go together. They're multiples of each other. I'm looking at it in my numerology mind here. But the actual message here too with this 3 card, okay, that's a lot of God energy, Father, Son, Holy Spirit that's surrounding us right now. This one is about lavish abundance, giving birth to your dreams, nurturing yourself and others is really the message that this card conveys. Taking care of ourselves, loving ourselves. I love how this calcite very much so represents the wings to Gabriel there. Okay, Gabriel is the angel of communication. We know that communications are blocked now with Mercury being in retrograde. We know that this air sign, that 6 of air, air represents our thought process, our communication. We know that that is repressed at this time, but we're going to utilize it in a very functional way. I'm going to pull a chakra card along with this too also, just to kind of focus. I have a feeling that they're really focusing on our upper chakras, obviously, because this all has to do with thought and communication. But let's just take a look. I'm going to do it 3 times because that's what Gabriel is coming in, that angel, that messenger. Let's see what Gabriel's specific message is here with regards to our chakras and what to keep in mind. Okay, this card is the Vanity card. And I know that's the obvious one there about, let's see, take a look at this. This is about this little group of people here, okay? And what they've done is they've gotten obviously quite full of themselves, that vanity type thing. They think that their thought process is right, that they're the right ones. And then they come to find out that actually they're not correct with it, okay? That sometimes our ego, that the ego gets in the way, and what that does is it clouds our judgment, okay? That's where all of this air energy comes in, okay? Because it is all about our thought process. We're going back into the past. We are forgiving ourselves because I'm pulling in Azrael with this. It's a death. It's, hold on. Reprocessing of the past. Hold on. We're letting go of our old self, our old thought process, and it's dead. It's no longer around. It no longer serves us. Okay? Now it's the time to balance our ego with our soul, is what she's saying. It's time to balance them together so that way we can move forward from that past hurt, from that past incident, and then Gabriel will be able to bring us that message. Okay? Illumination. I look at Gabriel and I see that illumination, that sun, that Jupiter. I'm going to double check on that too really fast just to see that Six of Air card. I almost want to say that that is the moon in Capricorn, but let me double check here because I know they want us to take a look at where this planet is this week, and that's going to have a lot of bearing on us as well. So, I'm sorry, it's Mercury in Aquarius. Okay, Mercury, we obviously know where Mercury's at right now. We talked about that considerably. I'm just going to take that as another affirmation from them. The Aquarius energy is all about freedom and being independent. So we're going from this past and we're liberating ourselves, okay? Use that Mercury right now, that time to not act on it, to think on it, process it, okay? And it's going to make for a wonderful, beautiful week surrounded by Gabriel, the angel that will bring you the messages that you need once you are able to release with the help of Archangel Azrael, okay? Have a wonderful week, everybody. I'll look forward to doing another video for you about our year influences. You can keep an eye out for that. That's going to be coming today as well. What we're leaving behind from 2015 and moving on into 2016 with. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.